My life has been on hold for a year. A year ago, I was supposed to be moving out, starting my own life. I had an apartment lined up, a job waiting. And then my mother died, and my world, along with my father's, simply stopped. She was the sun in his sky. They were one of those couples you see in old movies, completely, utterly devoted to each other. When she died, suddenly, from an aneurysm, the light just went out of him. The grief was a physical thing, a crushing, heavy blanket that smothered our entire house. At first, it was what you'd expect. Crying, a refusal to talk about her, or an inability to talk about anything else. He stopped going to work. He stopped seeing his friends. I made the decision to stay. I couldn't leave him like that. He was my dad. I put my own life on pause, telling myself it would just be for a few months, until he got back on his feet. But he never did. The grief didn't lessen. It metastasized. It started with him not eating. He just pushed the food around his plate. Then he stopped getting out of bed. The vibrant, strong man who taught me how to ride a bike and build a bookshelf was replaced by a hollowed-eyed ghost who just laid there, staring at the ceiling, wasting away. We went to doctors, so many doctors. They ran every test imaginable. Physically, they said he was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. It's psychological. One of them told me, with a detached clinical sympathy. Severe, prolonged grief reaction. He needs therapy, maybe medication. We tried that. The therapist will come to our house, and my dad would just stare at them, his eyes empty, refusing to speak a single word. He wouldn't take pills. He was just giving up. He was letting himself die, following her into the dark. It's been a year now. He's a skeleton, a fragile collection of bones under a thin, papery skin. He gets his nutrients through an IV drip that I learned how to set up myself. He hasn't spoken a word in 6 months. I spend my days changing his sheets, cleaning him, watching his chest rise and fall with his shallow, ragged breaths, and just waiting for the end. My own life has become a ghost. A half-remembered dream of a future I was supposed to have. Then, 3 weeks ago, a phone rang. It was a private number. I almost didn't answer. Hello?
Good morning.
A cheerful, professional-sounded woman's voice said.
Am I speaking with the caretaker of?
She said my father's full name. A cold gnaw of unease tightened in my stomach. Who is this? I asked.
I'm calling from a private biomedical research firm.
She said, her voice smooth as silk.
We specialize in unique solutions for profound psychological trauma. We've been reviewing your father's medical case, and we believe we can help.
I felt a surge of anger. My father's medical case? That's confidential. How did you get that? This is illegal. I'm reporting you.
I understand your concern.
She said, her tone never wavering.
And I do apologize for the unorthodox nature of this call. Our methods of data acquisition are proprietary. But please, before you hang up, just consider your father. The prognosis is not good, is it? The doctors have given up. They're just managing his decline. He's going to die. You know that. We are offering you a chance. A cure.
Her words cut through my anger like a scalpel. She was right. He was dying. I was just his hospice nurse, waiting for the inevitable. What kind of cure? I asked, my voice a hoarse whisper.
Our treatment is based on the principle of sensory anchoring.
She explained.
We believe that in cases of extreme grief, the psyche becomes untethered. It needs a familiar, powerful anchor to pull it back to reality. We can create that anchor. And as our treatment is still in the final trial phase, we would be happy to provide it to you completely free of charge.
Free? A cure? It sounded too good to be true. It sounded like a scam. But I looked through the doorway at the skeletal figure lying still and silent in the dim light of the bedroom. And the desperation, a feeling I had been living with for so long, won out over my skepticism. What do I have to do?
It's a very simple process.
The woman said.
We just need a biological sample from the object of his grief, your mother, something she had close contact with, something that would retain a strong, personal essence. A hairbrush is ideal, a piece of well-worn jewelry, a favorite article of clothing.
It was morbid, it was ghoulish, but I was beyond caring. And what do I do with it? She gave me an address, a P.O. box in another state, and told me to mail the item there. That was it.
Once we receive the sample, we can synthesize the anchor. You should receive the treatment within a week.
That night, I went into my mother's closet for the first time since she died. And I had kept her room exactly as she had left it. A perfect, heartbreaking time capsule. The air was thick with her scent, a faint mix of her favorite perfume and something that was just her. I opened her jewelry box. On the top, lying on a bed of velvet, it was her old silver packed hairbrush. I could still see a few of her long, dark hairs tangled in the bristles. My hand was shaking as I picked it up. It felt like a grave desecration. I put it in a padded envelope and mailed it the next day. A week later, a small, unmarked cardboard box arrived. There was no return address. Inside, nestled in a bed of black foam, was a single, small, elegant perfume bottle. It was made of a dark, violet-colored glass, with a simple silver atomizer. There was no label. Tacked alongside, it was a small, folded piece of paper with a single line of instructions, printed in a clear styrofoam. Administer one spray into the air near the subject, once per day. That was it. I opened the bottle, my curiosity overriding my unease. I sprayed a tiny amount onto my wrist. The scent that bloomed in the air was beautiful. It was a complex floral with notes I couldn't quite place. And underneath it, there was something else. A warmth, a softness, a scent that was so deeply, achingly familiar, it made my chest tighten. It was my mother. It wasn't just her perfume. It was her. The scent of her skin as she'd been working in the garden. The faint smell of the vanilla she used in her baking. The very essence of her presence. It was all there, perfectly, impossibly recreated in this little bottle. It was a liquid memory. I went into my father's room. He was laying there, the same as always, his eyes open but seeing nothing. I held the bottle a few feet from his face and, with trembling hand, I pressed the atomizer. A fine, fragrant mist settled in the air around him, and his eyes focused. It happened instantly. The vacant, empty stare was gone. His eyes, for the first time in a year, locked onto mine. A flicker of recognition, of confusion. He took a breath, a deep, rattling breath that was stronger than any I had heard him take in months. "Son," he whispered, his voice dry, cracking rasp from DUs. Tears streamed down my face. I couldn't speak. I just nodded. I had a terrible dream," he said, his eyes scanning the room. Where is your mother?" It was the most painful question he could have asked, but it was a question. He was back. The next few weeks were a miracle, a resurrection. Every morning, I would give him a single spray of the perfume, and every day he got stronger. He started eating solid foods again. He sat up, he started walking, at first with a walker, then on his own. The color returned to his face. He gained weight. The hollow-eyed gaze was gone, replaced by my father. He cried. He apologized, over and over, for the year I had lost, for the burden he had been. We talked, we mourned my mother together, properly. For the first time, our house, which had been a tomb, was filled with life again. I was so full of a profound, grateful joy. The strange company, the ghoulish methods, it didn't matter. They had given me my father back. But as the initial euphoria faded, I started to notice that the new routine that had formed, the perfume was the linchpin of his existence. He couldn't function without it. He would wake up in the morning, groggy and disoriented, his eyes holding a trace of that old vacant look. He would be listless, confused. Then I would administer the spray. The effect was immediate. His eyes would be clear, his posture would straighten, and he would be himself again. It was like winding up a clockwork man every morning. He was completely, utterly dependent on it. It was an addiction, but it was a life-saving one. Or so I thought. Yesterday morning, I picked up the bottle. It felt light. I gave it a shake. It was almost empty. There was maybe 1-2 sprays left. A cold, hard knot of panic formed in my stomach. I had tried calling the company's number before just to thank them, but it had always gone to a disconnected tone. I gave my dad his morning spray. I had to tell him. "Dad," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. The medicine is almost gone." The color drained from his face. The cheerful, recovered mind I had been living with for the past month vanished, replaced by a stranger. His eyes went wide with a raw animal panic.
"No,"
he whispered.
No, that can't be. I need it. I need her."
"It's okay," I said, trying to soothe him. "You're better now. You're strong. You don't need it anymore."
"You don't understand,"
he roared, his voice suddenly full of a terrifying strength. He grabbed my arm, his grip like a vice.
"I can't lose her again. I can't."
It was a different person. This wasn't grief. This was raw, desperate, violent need. A junkie's rage. He spent the rest of the day in a state of agitated, paranoid terror, pacing the house, constantly asking me if I found more. This morning, I gave him the last spray. He calmed down instantly, but the moment was bittersweet. I knew that in 24 hours, the monster would be back. I spent all day trying the company's number, over and over. Finally, someone picked up. It wasn't a person. It was a cold, automated female voice.
Thank you for calling.
The voice said, its tone flat and detached.
Due to a recent government investigation and a cessation of our operations, this company is now permanently closed. We are no longer able to provide our services or products.
My heart sank. No, please. I whispered at the recording.
If you are a former client,
The voice continued.
and your treatment supply has been depleted, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. We are unable to synthesize any further doses. It has been noted in our late-stage trials that discontinuing the treatment can result in acute psychological distress and unpredictable, aggressive behavior in the subject. The sensory anchor becomes a psychosomatic necessity. The subject will not recover. Their decline will be rapid and irreversible.
The recording paused for a bit.
We strongly advise you to secure your own safety. If you are unable to contain the subject, our final recommendation is euthanasia. We are sorry for your loss. Have a nice day.
The line went dead. I'm writing this now from my bedroom. I have the door barricaded with my dresser. My father is in the living room, or the thing that used to be my father is in the living room. The perfume wore off about an hour ago. I can hear him. He's destroying the place. I hear the crash of furniture, the shattering of glass, and I hear his voice, screaming. He's not screaming my name. He's screaming hers. He's screaming for his wife, for her son, for the anchor that is no longer there. A few minutes ago, he started throwing himself against my bedroom door. The wood is splintering. He's stronger than I could have ever imagined. This isn't grief. It's something else. The cure didn't just bring him back. It twisted him into something that cannot live without the object of his grief. The recording's final words are echoing in my head. Our final recommendation is euthanasia. Kill him. Kill my own father. I don't know what to do. The police, they'll just see a sick, violent old man. They'll take him to a psychiatric hospital. He could hurt someone. He could hurt himself. He's in so much pain. A pain so much worse than the quiet fading he was in before. Is it a merciful thing to do? The banging on the door is getting louder. The wood is cracking. He's going to get in soon. I don't have much time. What do I do? What in God's name do I do?